Hello, my name is John, and I have cerebral palsy. This is hard for a lot of people to admit a disability, and I hope if you click this video that either you yourself have a disability and are having hard times getting through it, or you are supporting someone that has a disability and is going through a little bit of tough times. These times are definitely normal, and they will continue to come. The hurdles will always be there, but it's how you get over the hurdles which will make life meaningful and fulfilled for yourself or the person with a disability. A little bit about me. I was born with cerebral palsy due to a car crash when I was in my mother's womb. Obviously, this wasn't my fault. I constantly asked, why me? Why can't I be normal? Why can't I play football with the best of them? Why can't I play baseball with the best of them? And it was very hard as a youth, dealing with the stairs. It was very hard walking outside, dealing with the stairs and the questions. And it really does lower your self-esteem. There are ways to deal with this. And one of the most important things are your support group. And by support group, I don't mean somebody that's going to hide you from the pain. I mean somebody that's going to show you who you are and the value you obtain for yourself, your family, and your community. These people aren't your typical people because it is a hard thing to deal with. For instance, my brother, he's a very hard-headed man, but he was always there for me from day one. If I was going up the stairs and I tripped, because I have to take the stairs one by one, 2 steps apiece, just because of my gait, he didn't come carry me up the stairs. He didn't stop doing what he was doing for me. What he did was he stood there and he said, "Come on, John, you can do it." There's the thing, guys, right there. If there's anything I can tell you in this video that I hope resonates with you, is you can do it. Don't let anybody say you can't. You can do it. There are ways. I want you to, the very first thing that I want you to do, either with the disabled individual or if you are the disabled individual, is write down your goals. And I don't want you to limit your goals to what you think you can do. What do you truly want in life? For instance, I wrote down my goals recently, and my goals are to lose an additional 14 pounds. I lost 38 pounds since, I believe it was March when I started dieting. I want to obtain my degree, which I went back to school, and I am going to do that in March. I also want to be there always for my family and friends. They are my most important people, and they've helped me develop into the man I am today, and I want to be there for them. Lastly, and this is the hardest one for me to grasp because of the tough times I've been through recently and in the past, I want to love and I want to be loved, and I don't want to hide or shy away from those feelings. It's very hard to deal with failures, but do not be afraid to take chances. Failures happen, and I'm not going to say everything you do in life you are going to do successful or all the way. One thing I can say is when you fail or when you fall down, get up, dust it off, learn from what happened, and improve yourself. Take it as a growth opportunity. And that's not always easy to do. Failure is very tough. It's a very tough thing to deal with because everybody, regardless, wants to be successful. But what I can tell you is, again, you can do it. You can accomplish those 4 goals or 5 goals, 3 goals that hopefully you are thinking of right now. Write them down. Look at them every day. I look at my goals every single morning before I go to work. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. Again, I was born with cerebral palsy, no fault of my own. I hold no grudges to what occurred. I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad I'm in the family I am. My support group has been amazing. They have been there every step of the way through 2 surgeries related to my cerebral palsy, where I had to learn to walk 3 times. I had to learn to walk 3 times. Just think about that. Normal people in life, non-disabled people, are worried about things such as their hair or how they look and all that. It takes courage for a disabled person to just walk out and face public. And I applaud all of you individuals that do that. And do not be afraid to. No one's going to hurt you. The stares, the questions, they're not going to hurt you. If anything, what I've done recently is the stares and the questions used to infuriate me. And it used to actually develop an anger emotion in me. What I've done recently is just realize that unfortunately that individual that's staring does not know. They are wondering what's going on. They aren't poking fun. Even if they say, haha, look how he's walking, that person doesn't know. This actually happened to me recently when I was walking through the mall in my local hometown, where a child was sitting at the register waiting for his parents, and he said, haha, look how he's walking. Well, of course, that kind of dug at me a little bit, but how the parents handled it was a blessing. It was a blessing. They looked at the individual and just said, first of all, I'll never do that again. And second of all, he's dealing with something that you are unaware of. And that's good. And that's a good thing for the youth to understand. There are things that you don't know that people are dealing with. I want you to also embrace your disability. For instance, my motto from the time I decided to stop the anger thing, stop the fighting, I used to fight, do all that stuff, that didn't bring me peace, that didn't bring me happiness. My motto is, I have cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy doesn't have me. I actually had this made into a shirt that I used to work out with all the time. And I just embraced that disability. For some reason, regardless if you're religious or not, I was selected to have this disability. And my thought process on that was because I got this disability because faith determined that I am strong enough to handle it, and so are my loved ones. My loved ones never told me I couldn't do something. They never held me back. I played baseball, I played football, I do all the things. I never parked in a handicap spot. Not saying that's a bad thing if you have to do so, but I'm a highly functioning disabled person, and I do get around well. There are pains, and you will deal with pains with having a physical disability. The pain is temporary. You can find ways to deal with the pain. And I'm not talking prescriptions. I'm not talking anything like that. What I do is I stretch. So I stretch and I deal with the pain. And ultimately, I don't know, because I've been dealing with the pain for so long, if I truly am in pain anymore. It's kind of normal. Hey, and I can deal with it. I go to the gym, I work out, I develop my body, and that actually helps me develop my mind as well. Another thing is, I want you to use the negative forces in your life and the positive forces in your life to drive you. Not everybody is going to think you can do what you know you can do. You know deep down you can do these things. If you didn't know you could do those goals that you wrote down, you wouldn't write them down. So those people that aren't there to support you, what I like doing is, say if they're saying at the gym, oh, you can't lift that. You can't do that. Well, I lift it. I don't say anything to them. I walk away and give them a little smirk. And I'm hoping that at that point in their life, that they realize, don't judge a book by its cover. I know that they see me walking, and that's the first impression that they have of me is the disability. Now, that is awful shallow of them to judge at that level, but hey, that's all they know, so they're going to create stereotypes. So what if we as disabled people change that stereotype? There are a lot of very, very, very successful disabled people in this world. Tons of them. You can always find a way to obtain your goals. Let's say, for instance, you have a physical disability which makes it hard for you to walk, or maybe you need walking assistance. And it's your goal to dunk. to be Michael Jordan, or my personal favorite, LeBron James, which a lot of people don't like that I like him, but hey, I am who I am. So, why can't you dunk? Because you can't jump? Well, there's ways. There's ways. Guess what? A lot of hoops nowadays are adjustable. Guess what? They made ladders. Use a ladder. Grab that ball. Dunk it. Accomplish your goal. Feel that release of doing something that you thought previously that you could not do. Also, I want to explain to you disabled people that you are valuable. Not only to yourself, but to those around you. Look at those people around you as opposed to those that don't deal with people with disabilities. And look at the character that they develop. Look at how they approach people with disabilities. I guarantee you, if that young gentleman that said, haha, look how he's walking, had a sibling or a relative with a disability, he would not have said that. Actually, he might have came up to me and said, hey, how are you doing? And that means a lot to somebody with a disability. You don't have to do a lot for a disabled person for them to feel appreciated. For instance, if you see a disabled person and you are wondering what's going on, or instead of staring, or if you catch yourself staring and they lock eyes with you, walk up to them. Say hi. It's a simple gesture. Be kind, be courteous. We're all human beings. Trust me, I'm not going to lash out at you. That's a self-defense mechanism. Some might do that, but what you got to realize is that's from previous personal experiences, which is fine. They have to learn how to cope with that, and hopefully they find the support group to do so. Also, I want to let you know that you are not alone as a disabled person or a highly functioning disabled person. There are tons of people out there that hide from it or that are very successful. And there are tons of groups, or myself, that if you have questions, come ask me. Come talk to me. If you're wondering why does this person not love me, why will this person not be with me, come talk with me. And ultimately, you can't control that. So focus in on the things you control and love yourself. Currently, there was someone in my life that told me something very valuable to me that kind of lit a spark for me. And she said, you have to love yourself before you love another. Just think about that for a second. I'm going to say it again. You have to love yourself before you love another. That's pretty deep. That's very deep. And I find myself as a confident guy. Ultimately, I was at a time period in my life that I didn't love myself. And that's very hard for a guy that puts up the barrier such as I do to admit. And that's fine. What I had to do is figure out what about me makes me not love me. And I realized there were some unclosed doors in my past that I never completed. First of all, I always joke around, it's an outstanding joke with my father and my brother, PFC, peak physical condition. Yes, yes, yes. Physical is spelled with P, not F. I get it, but that's what I want to be in. I want to be in peak physical condition. I want the degree. I want to be loved and love others. And I am doing everything I can. Every day I take a step, at least one step towards those goals. I ultimately do not know where I will end up in life, but one thing I know is I will develop myself into the man that the young John, using a walker, would have been proud of, would have looked up to, would have been his hero. That's what drives me. The young John, the one that was dealing with pain that he felt at times was unsurmountable. I'm going to develop into the man that he would have wanted me to be. And I'm going to keep driving. I don't know if I'll ever stop driving, and that's ultimately a good thing. Failures are okay. Do not be afraid to take chances. Failures are nothing more than a learning opportunity. Everybody fails. Regardless of disability or not, everyone fails. Everyone will go through hard times. That's okay. That's what builds character. And what makes you who you are is how you deal with those times of failure. Do you shell up? And are you afraid to try again? Are you afraid to feel that pain of failure again? Say, for instance, if you failed obtaining your degree like I did. I started school back in 2006 and I did not obtain my degree because of personal reasons. I felt like a failure. This made me have a real difficult time to go back to school. For 9 years, I only had 15 credits left. For 9 years, I struggled with going back to school because I was afraid of feeling the failure again. And that's okay. I felt like a failure, but was I really a failure because I didn't obtain my degree? And this is where me talking to a psychologist actually came into play. It wasn't a failure that I didn't obtain my degree. At that point in my life, given the circumstances, I was not ready for that commitment in my life. I was not ready, and that's fine. That's fine. I will obtain it. I will obtain it hopefully in March here, and I will do everything I can to do so. I have recently been listening to a lot of motivational speeches and all this before I elected to do this video. And one of the videos I watch consistently, actually pretty close to daily, is the new Rocky speech where he's talking to his son outside. And he says to the effect, "The world ain't all sunshines and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits. And don't point fingers saying you ain't where you're gonna be because him, her, or nobody. Cowards do that, and cowards ain't you. You're better than that." I know he was talking in a different scenario, but I have faced this where I was blaming things for me not being where I want. I blamed my ex-fiance from back in college for me not being where I was at, for me falling into financial hardships and dropping out of school. But ultimately, that failure, I should have owned it. That was me. I should have got up and dusted myself and got better. You control your life, and that's the most important thing for you to realize, is it's you that controls your life. You control your mind, which is the most important part, and you control your life. Keep moving forward. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. I spent countless nights in pain. I spent countless nights crying. Yeah, I'm a strong man. Ooh, testosterone. Nothing can get me down. Nothing can stop me. I tell you what, I've cried more in the past 2 weeks than I can recall. But I did that intentionally, and I let those feelings out because I knew if I bottled those up that I would fall into the same lull I did 9 years ago. And I can't allow that to happen for myself or my loved ones. Those that have seen something in me that maybe I didn't see in myself in the very beginning. Those that have been there with me every step of the way and been there to support me, taking time out of their life to help develop me. And that's valuable. Time on this world is valuable. We all have a very limited time, if you think about it, to make our mark. I don't know what my mark's going to be. I have a lot of goals in life. Mainly, my goal is to make sure every single disabled youth smiles. I want you to smile. I want you to be happy. You're living. You're here. You're going through stuff and accomplishing hurdles that others can't even dream of. Like I said, I had to learn to walk 3 times. How many people do you think that you know, or other people, that take that for granted? That is an accomplishment in my life. Walking upstairs, that's an accomplishment. That's a success in my life. And I have to embrace it and acknowledge that. So if you're the support group for these individuals with disability, celebrate the small goals, regardless of how small they are. Make them encouraged to do better, to have that feeling of accomplishment that they just had. Again, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for them. One thing I can tell you is, regardless of the pain that I felt growing up or currently, the thing that hurt me the most is seeing that my hurt was hurting others. So for instance, let's say if you're in a room and you're struggling to get through something, whether it be physical therapy or whatever, and you see your mother cry. Well, that hurts me because and back then I thought my situation was hurting my mother. And that hurts. I don't want to bring pain to anybody. I don't want to bring pain to my worst enemy. I don't even want to bring pain to those that have brought pain to me. That's not the right way to deal with it. Anger is a easy way out. Wishing to inflict pain is an easy way out. It takes a much stronger individual to embrace what they feel and work through the course. And you can do it. You can do it. Be bigger. Be better. Be better than others. And that's okay. You have to be the best you can be. And if you're the support group, you have to understand that the disabled person, will go through hardships. You will see them cry. You will see them fail. And yeah, you're going to want to take that off of them. Do it in a different way. Encourage them to keep moving. I trip and fall to this day. Guess what? I get up, brush off, and keep going. It doesn't embarrass me. It is what it is. I have a couple scratches, bruises, whatever. But guess what? I got up. I'm here today. I don't know how I want to take this channel, but what I really want to do and the impact I want to make is on the disabled youth, or disabled adults for this matter, and their support group. I remember when I was down in Georgia and someone came and talked to me, and it was a mother of a disabled child, and she asked me, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with coming out in public and dealing with it? How do you deal with the pain? How do you deal with not being able to do things that other people deal with? And I go, I can do anything I want. And that might sound arrogant, but guess what? You are the only person that can hold yourself back. Don't point the fingers. Don't use your disability as an excuse. Find a way. I thank you all for watching this video. Make sure if you do like it, drop a like. If you have any questions, make sure you write a comment and I will respond. Again, I'm not sure what will become of this, but I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I want to be that support group for the support group. I want to be the support group for the disabled individual. Until next time, take care, own your disability, and don't ever forget, you can do it.